I've always admired the Elvish writing system from The Lord of the Rings, and it stayed this way even after I learned its name, which is Tengwar, and began exploring Mr. Tolkien's languages and saw him using this script in an old interview, never realizing that you can actually learn it. I love exploring other alphabets. I feel like I'm changing my nationality for just a moment, and also understand how people on the other side of the world actually think. And all I'm really doing is just learning how various letters correspond to different sounds that the human mouth can make. It's such a bizarre concept if you think about it. So yeah, this past Saturday I tried learning Tengwar in 24 hours. My goal? Recreating the feeling that this old interview gave me, and to see what you can achieve in a day. Let's begin. I started where all good ideas come from, YouTube. In hindsight, I have to say I picked probably the best possible series of videos. This one from the channel Tengwar Teacher. But I didn't know that yet. Okay, so it's 1 PM on a Saturday and I'm officially starting. So yeah, I know it's a bit late, but hey, 24 hours is 24 hours, right? So yeah, I'm gonna start with this video and then I'm just gonna scour the internet, try to familiarize myself with this alphabet, and yeah, I'm gonna update you along the way. Also, I never told you what Tengwar actually is. Well, if you didn't know, it's a writing system created by Mr. Tolkien around the year 1930. It is used for various Elvish languages from The Lord of the Rings, but also the likes of Black Speech and Telerin. Those various use cases are called modes. Today I'm mostly gonna be learning the English mode. Also, there's one more thing that the script is well known for. It has a shit ton of characters. Sooner or later, that was bound to become a problem. So first of all, it's absolutely amazing. At this point, I already recommend yourself doing it because it's absolutely incredible. It's so much simpler. I mean, maybe not simpler, but the words, the individual words, are so much shorter than their English equivalents. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little break and I'm gonna come back to this series. Around the 5th episode of the series, I found myself starting to forget some of the characters I've gone through. You surely know this feeling of when you look at a piece of information you're trying to memorize, but as soon as you flip the page, you cannot recall it. You just have to go back to it. I was really worried that this trend would continue. Still, I have to say, I fell in love with Tengwar immediately, but I pretty much knew I was going to. The flow of the letters, the history represented in each character, and the fact that somewhere, someday, many years ago, a young Professor Tolkien sat down and came up with it. Each stroke just reminded me of that. I have to say, I was smashing those videos. I loved writing in Tengwar from the very beginning, and the story and the riddles that the creator of this series put into the lessons just made them very enjoyable. But one thing that is important to note is that I was doing a lot of writing, not a lot of reading in Tengwar. That's why, even later in the day, sometimes I would stare at the character just waiting for the inspiration to hit me, for my memory to recall it. But writing? No problemo. I was also getting better at my handwriting and getting into the flow of Tengwar. It wasn't amazing, but there's definitely some progress. One thing that this challenge made me think about is the NG sound. In Tengwar, it is represented by this character. There's also one in Korean that looks like this. And it's super popular in English. You can hear it in words like sing, king. I mean, it appears every time you add ing to a verb. Well, it turns out technically this sound is referred to as the voiced velar nasal, and yeah, it's very common. However, fun fact, Russian doesn't use it. Anyway, I just love exploring those topics. Okay, so I finished this whole series. It was absolutely magnificent. We covered most of the characters from this sheet I printed, and because it's going so great, I think it may even be a 12-hour challenge, so we'll see. But for now, it's going great, and I'm just gonna do a lot of reading and writing, and I'll see you later. Anyway, at the dusk of Saturday, I was completely done with this series. I decided to take a long break and just forget about all this. I was hoping this would help the information solidify in my brain. Of course, there was always a risk of me actually forgetting it all, but hey, you can never really go wrong with some exercise, can you now? And fortunately, I think that all the information has solidified. So, feeling very confident, I decided to end the day with some light reading in Elvish on Parv et Helen, and actually let the Tengwar letters go to my long-term memory, aka sleep. Okay, it's 12 p.m. right now, but what I'm gonna try and do for this last hour is I'm just gonna read as much as possible, as much Elvish as possible. So yeah, let's do it, there's no time to waste. Also, as you know, I've been learning English mode Tengwar, and it's very similar to Sindarin mode. In this writing system, the vowels are indicated by marking them above consonants, and from what I understand, in these two modes, you read those characters from top to bottom. However, that's not the case in Quenya. You actually reverse the order and read them from the bottom up. It's kind of weird, but also, either way, it makes sense. However, when you add to it some additional characters, the Quenya mode becomes actually pretty difficult, at least for me right now. It doesn't mean that the letters represent different sounds, but, you know, maybe a bit of variety actually helps. So if you also want to learn Tengwar, just keep it in mind. And with that, the 24-hour period has ended. I didn't look at any Tengwar stuff for the rest of Sunday. You just have to trust me on that. And the whole day, I was just itching to test my abilities. So I came up with a challenge. In the evening, I'm going to use Tengwar in English mode to write the first page of a very niche tragedy. I don't think that anybody has ever heard of it. It's called... Hamlet. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. I didn't spot any mistakes. If you did, definitely let me know. But either way, this challenge is over. So yeah, that's been it. Of course, there are always a couple ways to write each word, especially in English mode. And also, I have to say, I really recommend learning Tengwar, especially in a set amount of time. I think that it's not only a cool party trick, but also a glimpse into the internal workings of Mr. Tolkien and the world of Middle-earth. You know, just like a game controller is your gateway to the world of a video game, in the same way, Tengwar can be the thing you interact with to explore the world of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. And yeah, of course, I'm not a master at Tengwar after just 24 hours, but I'm gonna try practicing it in my free time. You know, just every time you write a sentence on a piece of paper, you can also try writing some Tengwar. I think this way you can get some accidental practice, if you can call it that. But yeah, it's been really fun, I really recommend it. You can check out the series I've been talking about today, and also just read and write a lot, and I guarantee you're gonna progress very quickly. Also, a deadline can always help. It doesn't have to be 24 hours, but you know, what are you doing in a week from now? You can be writing in Tengwar by then. So yeah, I just really recommend it, and I thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got something from this video, and I'll see you next time.